Good afternoon, good evening. I forget people watch it at different times, but it's good morning from here. How's everyone doing? How are you all doing? Hope you're okay. Well, I've come out very early. It's been quite an adventure to come here. There's lots of roads closed, or there were. So I made an alternative route, bypassed them, and then when I got to the end I found out they weren't closed. But they were yesterday. So yeah, we're on an old ancient hill fort. Not sure if it's a causewayed enclosure. I've never quite understood what the difference is with that. Some young willows by the side of us. But it's called Uley, and it is a 4-letter word. There are some strange moanings of cows that you may hear. It was quite hard to tell whether they were human or not. That's how strange they were. This is some dogwood. This has blackberries, but it also, and the red stems, you can see there, but also it turns lovely colours in the autumn. And it's early autumn here. It's only just started really, and it's mid-October. Here's some of the earthworked banking that I assume the ancients did. I don't mean that modern people might have done it. What I mean is they tell us these ancient people in Britain did this, but that's what they tell us. We don't know that unless we were here, of course. Maybe it's an opportunity to do some remote viewing back in the past. Yep, I chose the bit in the time where there was sirens and recycling truck noises. But anyway, there's a bit of a pan. There's a view out. Can't figure. The sun's not out, so I can't tell you what. Well, the sun is out, but I can't see any extra lights. I can't tell you what direction I'm looking in, unless I can see water. Which, oh yeah, you can see some water down there. So that's looking in towards the Bristol estuary, Bristol Channel. And right in the centre there's another. Now it's hard to tell whether it's a man-made mound or whether it's a natural glacier-formed mound, that one. Don't know what you think, but you can see behind it. See in the centre of the shot, that's what I'm talking about. If you see behind it, there's a little line of watery substance. There's actually a better view, isn't it? Well, looks quite interesting. Those woods over there look like they might be worthy of an investigation one day. And obviously, beyond the water, that's Wales. Now, sadly, someone owns this and has barbed wired the gate shut, so we can't actually go onto the very top of it. And it's used for grazing now, but you can see the earthworks out towards that direction. And some inviting woods beyond it. And here we are from this direction. Can't believe I come out early to avoid the noise. Now this is the best view. The mountains of Wales in the distance. And look, there's an interesting Glastonbury Tor-like mound there. There's another one. That's not the same one that we were looking at. And that looks really interesting for a pilgrimage. I expect that that's where people go when they want to do a nice ritual or meditation or connect or do something like that. I'll maybe figure it out one day how to get there. But this is my favourite end, actually. I love this bit of it. You can see the earth working, and that further on in the centre there, that's a nice interesting thing to climb down. It's got a similar feel to on Salisbury Hill near Bath, or Bath, depending on where you come from. See how steep it is. It's quite an imposing structure, this is. Very imposing. You can see it from a distance. And it's an unusual shape as well. That's true. It is, honestly, it is an unusual shape. So let's take a wander along here. Wow, this is, yeah. I did wonder, because I checked the weather forecast last night, and it said dry, dry, dry on the way here. The rain came. And if you didn't notice, I don't wear coats. Well, not yet anyway. It's not cold enough for a coat. See, look at this down here. Let's see if I can zoom in for you. There, that looks interesting, doesn't it? Interesting bank. You can get down to it a bit further along, and I may just come up that way. I don't know. Anyway, let's explore this ridge. Under my feet it feels quite rocky. So this bit of the earthwork has been built up, and there have been, look, you can see rocks there, there's a path. So I may go to the end and come up that way. see, that looks really interesting, doesn't it, down there? It's like a nice thing to explore, maybe. Or just have a look. It won't take long to get through there. Well, it is beautiful. You may not think so. I'm not trying to get you to think it's beautiful as well. So it does occasionally have landslides. So we're risking it doing a Bono impression. See the red berries there? That's a rowan tree. Mountain ash, one of the Ogham Bethluineon. I think it's the third, isn't it, Rowan? The third one on there. See, that's such a nice patch down there. And out of the wind, of course. Now this way, can you see there where we're getting to? There is a kind of gateway, a mounded gateway, which I suspect, looking at it, don't you think that may have been the entrance? A double mound with a channel to drive people in and compact them, can drive them in singly or singularly. Now let's take a view from each peak, seeing as we're here. There we go, there's the peak. There, look. See, that's a pretty good channel, isn't it? And if I go this way, oh, let's take a look this way. Look at that. I've no idea, obviously I've no idea how this would have been wooded, because this is obviously a lot more recent, isn't it? So let's have a look up here. While we can. Some young wild carrot. See, it is a nasty channel. You know, you're not going to get an army 3 abreast coming through there, are you? Or a gang of warlords. Warriors, I mean, warriors, sorry. You get a good view of the top from here as well. It's probably one of the best views. So I'm going to show you what it's like to come up in. So this is from not quite so close to the edge. I did come here, one of my early videos, I think it's called Uley in gloom, because basically it was just misty and gloomy. It was a lovely day. You know, for atmospheric photography, and if I'd have been as good as I am now, then it would be a lot better. But yeah, it's not bad, considering I'd only just started out. And it's nice to look back at old stuff because you can see how you've improved, even if you don't think you have. If you haven't looked at, you know, most musicians and artists and stuff, they don't look back on their old work. You know, once they've done it and it's out, that's it. They don't think about it until they're forced to by interviewers or people asking questions. So I think we're actually looking northwest. That's the angle the middle of the camera shot looks out at. So there you go. That's what it's like walking this way. So there's the gorge, that little drop bit I mentioned. I didn't quite get my timing right for here, but because there's a man in blue just ahead of me. Hopefully that's just an apparition. There you go, you can see how high it is at the end there. I've come the wrong way, haven't I? So that's good. here we are. Here you see. It's like a couple of breasty dumplings. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. There you'd be at the gate now, being questioned, allowed in, or taken, maybe prisoner, maybe to see someone, who knows. That's quite a high peak up there, isn't it? Can you see in the gap there? Let's try and zoom in. And there's those on the hill here. Right, see the gap above those trees, and then there's a mountain behind it. Now, is that too far west to be Sugarloaf? I'm not sure. I don't have my bearings from here. No, it wouldn't be, would it? No, that could be Sugarloaf we're looking at there, which is in Wales. Yep, I can look out over another country. Absolutely love this tree that's in the middle there, you know, by the path, guarding it. The oak sentry, I know it's a young one. Okay, let's go onwards. And you see, there must have been, what, you know, hundreds, thousands of people living here. Yeah, it curves right round beyond the middle of the shot there, where those cows are, if you can see them. So that's quite a big one. It's bigger. It's probably as big as Salisbury Hill, I suppose. But there are many smaller. I think that's the village of Uley there. Is it? I think so. I mean, yeah, it is. There's the road I go up. I don't know if you can see it up there. So that's Uley, and then Alpen is just beyond it there. I think that's Alpen. It's only tiny. And then I think it encompasses some of those trees behind too. Yeah, time for coffee. Although I've just had one. I just had a coffee on a gabion that was covered in brambles and ivy and old man's beard. And after I'd finished and walked another 5 meters, I found a gabion that was clear and not covered in ivy, but I preferred the one I was at. Yeah, if I'm honest, I'd just merge into nature and never come back. Which I will. Unless my kids decide to throw me into the sea. It's a bit of a pirate joke, I think. We hear the buzzard. There you go, and there's the distance. So we're going to go along here. I may not film this bit because it's not that interesting, but I don't know, as soon as it's for you. I will for these guzzlers. That looks bullock, doesn't it? Yeah. No. Ooh. No. Now I'm gonna go through the wood, because I don't often do that, and it's just starting to be light rain, probably from the sea. I'm getting nearer to the centre of the earthquake zone now, aren't I? Interestingly, not that I've felt one for a while. I did the other night. That was the first time I'd felt one. So here we are. I'll give you a pan from over there. And there we are, well beyond the corner there. There, so I thought I'd come in the wooded bit, like I said. Sadly it's by a fence, so you don't get that sense of freedom. But you can get a sense of how steep the slopes are. If you haven't already. Looks like some more rowan. That's lovely, isn't it? All the green and the brown, but it's not quite dull green and dull brown, is it? It's like bright green and more sort of orangey brown. somehow feels right to have an oak there, doesn't it? Let's go up to this promontory. Is that the technical term? I can see a lot of water in the air. Mist, sea mist. You see it? Affecting my light. Don't worry, young'un. It's okay. See, I'm getting way all clear of you. Hey! Oh, fancy meeting you here. Now, instead of going through the wood, we would have come out where those cows are there. And the sides are pretty much full of bramble and dead ash trees, so I thought we could see this from here. See how it curves? See how it's done a lovely curve there. Well banked. So we'll continue on. Yeah, I can feel wetness. Apologies if it gets on the screen. Hope it makes you feel like you're out there. And if anyone's watching this while wearing glasses, you can, maybe that'll bring memories of having spots of rain on your glasses, which is annoying, I know. Lovely, isn't it? Such a so gnarled, thick, stunted shape, and I mean that nicely. Maybe that's why she broke up with me, because I said that. I'm joking, of course I wouldn't ever say that. I did fall out with someone who did say stuff worse than that, or invented a story where he made out that he'd said much worse than that. And even though he'd made it up, there was still a part of me and quite a number of us that thought, yeah, but you know, you may not have actually done that, but the fact that your head made that up causes me to doubt your integrity, actually. Well, we're being followed, but luckily we're nearly at the end. So now this looks like a rogue Cotoneaster that shouldn't be here. Dropped by the birds, pooed by the birds. And that's not a euphemism, but it could be for some people. Sorry. I shouldn't have run with that one, should I? I'll just document this ash before we go. Yeah, look at that. Can't quite get it all in. It's a magnificent specimen, isn't it? Look at that. Soon it'll be gone, so we've got a record of this one. Lovely, and it's standing sentinel almost. That's the first one I've seen this year that, yeah, it's got a few signs, few signs, but it's the most alive one I've seen. Same can't be said for that one. So, I think that concludes. Try to hold this as far away from me as possible so it's not so close on my face, but it's a bit bouncy. I think I may have damaged it somehow through, I don't know, holding it weird. Anyway, thanks for coming, and really hope you enjoyed it. It's nice to have a look at an old place, old fort like this, even if I am wittering, but you know, I'm trying to please everybody. No, well, obviously I can't please everybody, but I'm trying to get a balance between showing shots and the sounds and keeping people company with my voice, and yeah, other things. Try and be entertaining, funny, get you thinking, you know, all of that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Ta-da, have a lovely autumn. No. Ta-da. I said oh no because I don't know when I'm going to upload this, so have a lovely life. Ta-da.